Hello lovelies, it's me, the Melanated Oracle, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have a pick a card reading that is a message from the ancestors. So for this pick a card reading, we will be focusing on ancestral patterns that need to be released. And I will say that this reading is inspired by the great conjunction that happened on the 21st, I believe, on the winter solstice. I would explain it, but with all of the memes, all the information that went around, and by the time I will be uploading this, it will already have passed. I believe there is no need, but I do want to point out that I'll be focusing on ancestral patterns, not karma, not curses. To me, an ancestral pattern is different. I'll more so be looking at patterns that more so happens through the generations of what needs to be let go, and these patterns can stem more towards either personality traits or just traits within the family that the ancestors really feel that needs to be released, as it is no longer or may have never served the lineage. That is what this reading will be focusing on. So if you would like, you can take some time to meditate on the cards. Like usual, I'll leave a meditation, or if you want and you feel called to, you can sit with me with my ancestral, I suppose, prayer. If you wish to give your ancestors an offering now of either water or something simple, I will encourage you to do so. At the moment, I'm currently burning frankincense and myrrh as an offering of just gratitude for coming and just speaking to us and giving us the information that we need. So with that being said, I'm going to start the prayer. If you would like to just forward to the meditation, feel free to jump to the timestamp. Beautiful beloved ancestors, I am flesh of your flesh, blood of your blood, a descendant of your lineage, and I call on the highest ancestors with wisdom and knowledge and love to help guide us through this divination, so that we may see the ancestral patterns that need to be released from the lineage, the patterns and traits that are no longer serving us, the traits that are toxic, the traits that need to be released in order for us to move forward into a better person, a better spirit, a better lineage. I ask that your descendants are able to take this message, sit with it, apply the work to it, and I give you permission to use me as a medium, as a channel. Amen, Ashe, amen. So starting with pile number one, let's go ahead and jump into some of the cards that I have already shuffled, looking at what are some ancestral patterns or traits that need to be released. We have Moon in reverse, Three of Gourds in reverse, Young Blade upright, Three of Knives, Ten of Sticks, Five of Knives. Right out the back, what I'm picking up is a lot of you hold so much in to the point where it affects your emotional stability, your emotional health, and most of the time you are feeling overwhelmed and burdened. With this group, I feel like the pattern may be similar to a pattern I've noticed in my own family, and that is a pattern of selflessness to the point where it becomes detrimental and possible and possibly dangerous to your health, because you take so much on, you hold so much within yourselves, any heartbreak and pain And for some, I'm even picking up feelings of victimhood, really throwing yourself a pity party when things get bad. Some of you may even get to the point where you don't even try to dig yourself out of your hole because you feel like, what's the point? I'm going to end up right back here anyway. This feeling of defeat is really what I'm picking up. This feeling of sometimes thinking that life will always be like this and things aren't going to get better. I feel like a lot of you often deal with a blocked heart chakra and throat chakra, because the feeling that I'm picking up on is that a lot of you hold in a lot of things to keep the peace, because you feel like that it is your responsibility to keep the peace around you, around your friends, around your family, and you end up holding things back. You don't express your concerns, you don't express your opinions for the peace of others. And some of you, again, it's because you feel like things won't even get better, that things will end up exactly the way they were. Your ancestors want you to be able to move forward with a clear mind. They want you to be able to look to the future. They don't want you being completely stuck on the past or things constantly repeating. They want you to get and break away from that habit. And for some of you, you know, with this being an ancestral pattern pick a card reading, these are things you may have picked up from your family without even realizing it. And honestly, for some, I feel like when you're watching this video, you're not going to want to admit that some of these could be your issues. You're going to probably be saying, well, she has no idea what she's talking about, or that message doesn't relate to me. And that couldn't possibly be true, because, you know, I always pick myself back up. But really take some time to really sit down and look and think about how things are going in your life. Really take the time to look and think, how often do you express how you truly feel? What happens when you express yourself and how you feel? Do you automatically expect for people to not understand you, or do you expect for them to not take your feelings into consideration? Do you already have an expectation of what will already happen before things have already happened? And look, is that expectation something positive, or is something based off the past that's already happened and you're just expecting it to continue to happen because that's what you're used to? Looking at this reverse, you're getting dragged down. You're really feeling like you're dragged down most of the time, or at least that's a pattern, or that is something that happens quite often in your family, is the feelings of getting dragged down, the feelings of things just not getting better. There may also be some mental health issues regarding depression in the family that may have spanned over generations, and those things can be inherited genetically. So those are some things you may want to look out for as well. We have home. Again, really, with this group, really it's an emphasis on keeping the peace within the home regardless of how it affects you. And we have forgiveness. And I'm also picking up, again, with that more so pessimism of, and actually some slight resentment of, I don't have a choice, I have to do this, my happiness doesn't come first, and this is the way it's been going on repeatedly, and this is the way it will always be going on in the future. Especially, they want you to more so try to be able to change your outlook on the future. That's going to help you break away from constantly expecting the same thing, constantly thinking that you need to stay in the same habits, because if you are not able to change your habits, you yourself as a person will not be able to change. They really want you to start evaluating and lessening the burden on yourself. They want you to realize that the way things are and the way things have been, even if that's how your parents were, even if that's how your grandparents were, even aunts, uncles, whatever, release it, let it go. Let go of this hold onto the past of things will always be like this, because right now that is no longer serving you. Staying bottled up, holding on to these feelings of resentment, holding on to these feelings of victimhood, holding on to these feelings of just things feeling like a burden, holding on to these feelings of keeping the peace for the sake of others in your home, and then your home no longer feeling like a home because of that, is not serving you. We have Jupiter, abundance. There can be more in your life, but right now you are expecting the opposite of Jupiter. You're expecting things to not go well. You're expecting bad luck. You are not expecting generosity from people. You are expecting people to be selfish. You are not growing or expanding. You are constricting. We have sextile potential. There is possibility for things to get better. There is potential, but not if you are willing to do the work. Not if you're not willing to actually look in the mirror and say that I contribute to my problems. That is one of the hardest things a person can do, is acknowledging that they contribute to their own problems. But it is also the first and probably most important step to do. That is probably the most important. Acknowledging that you at times can be a victim. Acknowledging that you do see, you expect the same thing over and over again. You don't expect the good of life. And you know what? If life has been rough, that's fine. Acknowledge life has been rough. Maybe life has been rough your whole life. And I did a video on stop being a victim to life circumstances. So if you want to check that out, I advise you to, because I talk about that. But just because life has been rough doesn't mean that life has to continue to be rough. But again, that is your decision to make. That is something you will be choosing. We have trying harmony. There's a possibility to have harmony in your life, to have good in your life, to have ease in your life. We have expansion. Two themes of expansion in this. There's a possibility for more, but only if you are willing to let go of this pattern. And again, if you are struggling with symptoms of depression or depression in general, go get professional help. Speak to a therapist. There are many ways to speak to a therapist now. There are many different sources. And most sources, I won't say most, but there are some sources where they offer financial assistance. So if that is something that is preventing you, those are things you should be looking into. And I'm also going to be doing an on-camera shuffle. With this on-camera shuffle, I really want to be asking the ancestors how can you start working on this? What is the first step? Even though I spoke of the first step already, I really want to ask them, what is their message and guidance from you right now? They know what it is they need to be released. They know what could come next, but what exactly do they need to do right now to work the ancestors, in order to get things going in the right direction? What is your wisdom to them right now? The message. Okay. We have two things of abundance. You have the tall tree and you have Jupiter. Your ancestors clearly want you to know that there's better things on the way. There's abundance, there's growth, there's expansion. They want you to realize that. If you've been saying, where's my sign? Take this as a sign if need be. There are better things to come. But if you continue to be blinded by what you are currently seeing in the present, and if you continue to especially be blinded by everything you have seen in the past, you will not see better days, because you will be so focused on only seeing the bad, you will not see the good. Higher guardian speaking. My energy is assisting you during this time period. You are going through major transitions. You may not have gotten an insane superpower, and that's cool. But that doesn't mean that you aren't changing. That doesn't mean that there are major changes and transitions already happening and already on the way. Now, you may not be able to physically see it with your own two eyes, but just because you can't physically see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I can't see oxygen particles in the air, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe in oxygen, because I can still breathe. They also want you to learn how to have more faith in them, in God, in a higher power, whatever it is you want to call it. Have faith in something other than yourself, because that's really what's going to get you moving along. Because right now you are not in the place to see that far ahead. But the best thing I think about spirit is the strength that when you know that they're there and they're supporting you, and they're going to be with you every step of the way. No matter how many times you trip or mess up, they're still right there. They still got your back. They're still supporting you. And they can already see things that you have not, and that's why they're urging you and pushing you to keep going, no matter how hard it may be right now. Whew. There are better days ahead, but you must be willing to let go of this pessimistic mindset, this toxic mindset. You must be able to forgive people. Anger and resentment. How does the saying go? It's like drinking poison, but expecting the other person to get sick. It doesn't serve anyone. Be able to forgive and let go. And I know this is a hard message. I know it is. But it is the only way to move forward. Oh man. Ancestor readings always get me charged. So with that being said, pile number one, this is the reading for you. I beg of you to sit with it, because this reading, this pick a card, it's been on my mind for a while. The ancestors have been giving so many messages, and I've just been trying to make sure I thoroughly dissect them and sit with them and make sure that this is something that needs to be put out. I don't put anything out if I see no point in it. But this is something that I feel is needed. So I ask of you, please sit with this. If you need to watch it another time and take notes, do it. And I'm not saying that just, oh, views. No, please sit with this message. Please do. Please take notes if you must. Please make a list of those you need to forgive. Make a list of how ways you want to expand, things you want to try. Oh, jeez. Make a list. What is abundance to you? What is growth to you? Speak to your ancestors. They are right there. They are always listening. They are right there. You don't have to do anything special. They are family. You don't got to do anything special. They are already there. So if you must speak with them and get knowledge from them, then do so. Do so. They want you to. They are with you. So with that being said, pile number one, this was your reading. If you feel so called, please like and subscribe. And even if you don't, I still want you to be able to reflect and look in the mirror and do the work. With that said, have a blessed day. Bye. So for those of you that chose pile number two, this is the reading for you. So let's go ahead and get started. We have Two of Coins, Eight of Staffs, Little Staff. The wind is howling tonight, just how I like it. When I do my ancestor messages, I like to hear the wind, I like to hear the elements. Miss Robinson. Ace of Sticks, Miss Ida. Five of Sticks. Ooh, okay. I get the feeling that some of my pile two, maybe all of y'all, how do I say this without it sounding harsh? There's no possible way. Thrive off of conflict and chaos. You find comfortability in it. Some of you, I feel like you like causing it. You like causing just a tad bit little mayhem. And why do I say this? We have Two of Coins, Miss Robinson. And if you don't know, Miss Robinson is represented as the Devil card. And the thing is, with Miss Robinson's tale, she was a root worker, and you know, things were going good, and there was a Christian woman who messed with her the wrong way, and Miss Robinson didn't really appreciate that. She messed with her money, I believe. And so instead she placed a root on the woman's son, and he passed away, which is why you see her smiling outside of the funeral home right now. And while most cases, you know, I don't really find a problem with Miss Robinson, because I mean, people really need to learn how to mind their own business, and not mess with people's livelihoods. Since we're talking about ancestral patterns that need to be released, though, you know, most of the time I view this as being protective and setting boundaries and sticking up for yourself. But with us talking about this, in these Five of Sticks, this conflict here, this imbalance here, Eight of Staffs, that's a lot of fast-paced, moving energy, really charged. some of you really thrive off of those environments. I feel like some of you may be lawyers or in some type of maybe debate, some type of field where there's a lot of back and forth. We got Ace of Sticks, another charged card, another high energy is what I'm getting with this group. But this is the thing, that's not what they want you to thrive off of. This little staff card right here, you know, he's chill, he's relaxed, he doesn't feel the need. Compared to all these other sticks and staffs, it's a calm exterior with this card right now. And that's something your ancestors want you to lean towards. They want you to be able to release needing this really fast-paced, chaotic, dysfunctional energy. I feel like for some of y'all, maybe most of y'all, you kind of grew up in a dysfunctional home. Not judging, I did too. But by doing that, and I feel like this is thing this has been happening for generations of children being raised in dysfunctional homes, because a lot of times when you're raised in a dysfunctional home, you think that everybody is raised that way until you grow up, and then you look outside and you're like, man, your house is real calm. Why ain't nobody yelling? Why is there no running around? Like, what's going on? It seems a little odd. It seems a little too quiet. Some of you may be the ones who struggle to sleep at night in the dark. You may need TV on, or you may be the person that needs the person that really likes white noise. You just always need something happening, something going on. And the ancestors really want you to focus on being able to release that energy, that fast-paced energy, that constant moving. They want you to more so be able to lean into feelings of peace, of serenity, of just being okay in the dark and quiet. They want you to be okay with things being calm, with things not being chaotic. They want you to be able to be level-headed, because for some of you, you know, you may have a little bit of a temper. You may do some things and say certain things when someone upsets you, and then you may come to regret it. And I feel like a lot of y'all may have a lot of regrets, and that's something that they don't want you to always have to worry about speaking out of anger or out of pain or just causing conflict, because that's what you're used to, that's what you're used to being around, that's what you're used to seeing, that's what you saw growing up. And so now that's something that you spread, and they want you to know that that is not healthy. That is something that needs to be let go. And I understand, you know, at a certain point, you know, you just kind of get used to it, and being in a different environment becomes uncomfortable because you've never been in that environment before. But this is the thing, Two of Coins right now, it's unbalanced. It's too much of this chaotic energy. It's like there's no discipline at this point. Yeah, for y'all, I feel like if Saturn return hasn't hit already, or if it's already hit, it was really hard, wasn't it? Because Saturn is all about focusing on discipline, but moving back. They need you to incorporate more discipline, be able to incorporate these times of just calm, being able to release needing some type of chaotic energy. Or some of you, ooh, yeah, I'm getting chills. You love to gossip, you love drama, you love instigating. Cut it out. They literally said cut it out, stop it. It's not helping anyone. And again, a lot of you probably saw this growing up. Maybe the ones quick to yell in an argument because that's what you saw growing up too. Cut it out. Please stop. Please stop. Because their biggest thing is, we don't want this to continue. They're saying that, A, this never should have went to you. This never should have been inherited to you. This is something you shouldn't have grown up in. And they don't want this to be something that continues generation after generation after generation. They want it to stop with this generation. They don't want it to continue anymore. So please, they're literally saying, please stop. Please take some time to do whatever you need to do in order to really, you know, just let this energy go. Yeah, we got two again. We literally got two again. It's really focusing. It's a huge emphasis on balance with this group, because right now you're very unbalanced again with this Two of Coins. They want you to be able to find the balance in your life. Because it's okay having some type of chaos, or, you know, something going on every now and then, because you don't want life to get boring. But having it all the time to the point where that's all you do, And for some, I see there may even be problems in relationships right now because of that, because you thrive off of that drama and conflict. There are problems in friendships and relationships. And that is what's hindering you, because you're thriving off of drama right now. You're thriving off of conflict. You're thriving off of super fast-paced energy 24/7. Some of you, they said, may be the ones who are so focused on your career, because careers can be so fast-paced and no one has a problem with it in a career. But it's now taking away from your home life, from your home, from spending time with those who want to spend time with you. It's a lot going on in this group. But they really want you to focus on being able to have a seat. You have North Node Fate. Capricorn, the CEO. Yep, and I just literally mentioned work. I completely forgot about this card. And here comes Capricorn, the CEO. Cancer, the caretaker. Focusing more on being, focusing more on feminine energy, because we have masculine energy right here. I forgot about these cards, and here are all the messages again. Anger, right there. Discernment. Ooh, come on. Use your own spirit of discernment to know when things are going wrong in your life, when things aren't going the way they're supposed to be going. You know, you already know. He wants you to be able to focus more so on feminine energy. There's too much masculine energy in this group. Fate, where are you supposed to be going? You're supposed to be leaving this in the past. Again, being quick to anger, like I was saying earlier with this Ms. Robinson card. I mean, really, this was already confirmation of everything I just said before I flipped these cards over. There's nothing wrong with, and again, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting something happening every now and then. But if you're thriving off of this energy, off of just chaos and conflict, if you don't believe me, or you're saying, give me an example, because some of y'all, I don't know why I get the feeling like some of y'all are lawyers or want to be lawyers. That's the energy I'm getting. You want proof of what I'm talking about, or an example. Think of the US news right now is the best way I can describe it. You see how it's always something going on, and how nothing good can just be going for a minute without something else happening. And it's usually something chaotic that nobody was expecting, and it's just like, why are we even doing this? Why is this happening? That's the type of energy I'm talking about. They want you, again, be able to go into this feminine energy, be able to lean more so into this Cancer energy, more so of this emotional energy. I feel like Cancer, it's a water sign. It's more so of a calm energy, because Cancers are very nurturing. Being able to open your heart, not even for the sake of being vulnerable, but for the sake of connecting with people in a way that isn't going at it or attacking them in some sort of sense. I'm seeing this be, and I feel like I'm getting lawyer energy or debate, or I don't know, like a mega corporate person. It's just, you may not fit all of those. I'm just saying that's the best way to describe the energy that I'm picking up. So, you know, with that being said, really focus on reeling it in, and we're going to move on to the ancestor message from them on how to either incorporate this energy, or just a message they have for you on how this energy can be incorporated, how you can release the ancestor pattern that you're kind of stuck on now. So connecting with your ancestor, because we have the ancestor you ignore speaking. A lot of times when we talk to the ancestors, especially if it's an ancestral pattern, a lot of them have already had it, and since they already passed on, you know, on the side, they can give you some insight on how to release it. So maybe you want to spend some time in meditation with your ancestors, asking them, having a notepad nearby, of how to release this energy, how to move forward, how to be okay with just being still. Because I feel like for some of you, You may, even when you were a child, people may have called you disruptive, or that you had some type of ADHD, but that's just because you're one of the people who really struggles to sit down and not do anything, not move. The altar give offerings. They want you to establish a connection with them. Like I said earlier, especially since I feel like this group who really leans more into the logical, again with the careers I stated earlier, and also with not being able to sit down, you may not connect with them much, and they have some wisdom to give to you, because this is a message literally from them. They have some wisdom to give to you, but if you are not able to find enough stillness in order to listen to them, you're not going to be able to get it. You're not going to be able to internalize it. Find the time, sit down with them, ask them your questions, have a notepad, but be willing to sit in silence. So a lot of times, especially if you are very new to working with them, that's all you're going to be hearing for like the first 10 minutes, maybe the first few months. And if you say, well, how am I supposed to get anything from them if they're just silent? Because you'll still be picking up on stuff even if you can't hear them in your mind directly. You'll still be picking up on either messages or pictures. And that's why I'm telling you to have a notepad and pen nearby while you are sitting with them. So with that being said, Pile 2, I know your reading was a little harsh, but baby, you needed it. So if you do feel called to like and subscribe, please do. Even if you don't, I still wish you the best. I hope that you're able to sit with this message and really reflect on it and think about it and really take it with you. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a blessed day. Bye. So for those of you who chose pile number 3, this is the reading for you. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We have the sun. I automatically just heard stop dulling your light. We have 4 gourds. I already see where this one is going. 8 of blades. Yep. 3 of coins. Gullah Jack. And Daughter of Baskets. I will say right away, I was hearing a couple things. I was hearing don't be a sacrificial lamb. I was hearing don't dull your light. This group, it's not about being selfless with you. It's about you basically, I feel like some of you don't even view yourself as worthy most of the time to really just show how, I don't even think you guys think you're wonderful, honestly. I feel like you guys may think you're a good person, but at the end of the day, when you really sit down and you're all alone and there's no one around you to validate you, you genuinely struggle. At least some of you do. Others of you, you don't take the time and care to really take care of yourself. You kind of, how do I want to say this without sounding like a butt? I don't know if it is a way. The ancestors have been very harsh with these readings, but I think there's a reason. Okay. Well, let's just start with this. We have Gullah Jack. If you don't know who Gullah Jack is, he was a slave. He was a root worker, if my memory serves me correct. I haven't read his story in a long time. But essentially, he was a powerful root worker who was going to help with a slave rebellion. The slaves wanted to be free. They were tired. They said no more. And Gullah Jack was like, you know what? I will help us get this whole thing started. So they were getting started. They were making preparations. And then there is a slave who let the master know what was happening about this rebellion and who were the leaders. And one of the leaders was Gullah Jack. And because of that, Gullah Jack was killed. He was killed for trying to help his people. And if you haven't already noticed, he is the hanged man, also with the, I believe, the Bantu cosmogram, kind of the circle of fate, I believe. But I feel a lot of you sacrificed yourself for the sake of others, but not in the way that Gullah Jack did, not in a way to to, you know, fight for something or for a cause, I should say. But more so because I feel like some of you really struggle with feelings of worthiness. I feel like a lot of you may have self-esteem issues because we have the sun, which usually is a beautiful card, but with this, the sun is all about expression, and I really feel like the sun really embodies feelings of worthiness because you're basking in the beautiful sun, so how can you not feel worthy of the sun itself? But that's the thing, I feel like some of you don't feel worthy a lot of the times if there is no one around you, if you're not sacrificing yourself for somebody or someone. You struggle with your own self-worth. Even with the Three of Coins, this is someone who's still looking for others. I feel like some of you may really struggle to be alone. Eight of Blades, I feel like if some of you are alone, you feel awful. I feel like some of you don't know how to be alone with yourself. I feel like some of you may have lost your way, and some of you may be wondering, well, how is this an ancestral pattern? This is a trait that could have been picked up. And see, this is the thing, in the middle, this person is happily content with being alone, and same with the Daughter of Baskets. But they're still doing things for other people. I think some of you struggle with just not doing things for other people. I feel like some of you struggle with self-care in general. I feel like some of you always feel a need to be doing things for others. It may feel odd to just do something for yourself. It may feel odd to just feel worthy on your own. And this, again, since we're talking about ancestral patterns, this is something that you may have observed growing up, and now it's just something that you've internalized. It's something that's been going on through the generations of always doing things for other people in order to finally be able to have a sense of self-worth, needing external validation, needing people to really tell you or show you or validate your public image instead of finding self-worth on your own. Whew. Perception, retreat, sacred space, teaching. This is a lesson you're learning. You're learning, or you should be learning, but in your lifetime what you need to learn is how to make yourself your sacred space. How do you become comfortable with retreating to yourself? Because it's all about perception. You do not need other people's opinions. Society would like for us to think we need other people's opinions, so that way we always go to other people and we do all these different things. We don't really do them because we want them. We do it because that's what society says is successful, and you know, that's what society says is a good person. But when we really look down into it, a lot of times it's all about perception. What is your perception of success? What is your perception of a good person? What is your perception of a variety of things? Some of you need to shift your perception of worthiness, of worth, because the thing is, you are always worthy. You're always worthy. You don't need to do anything. I saw something beautiful today. I can't even remember word by word, but what was said is, no matter what, God took the time. Essentially what was said is, God took the time to create you. You're not a mistake. Because if you weren't supposed to be here, he would have never created you in the first place. And I know I'm saying he, even though I believe God is genderless, that is just something I'm used to. But if you weren't supposed to be here, you wouldn't be. But if you're here, you are worthy to be here. There's nothing you really need to do, especially not for another person, for you to be considered worthy of life or living. Because if that was the case, again, you wouldn't exist. You existing gives you worthiness in itself. And that is something they want you to learn. They want you to learn to be okay with being alone. They want you to be okay with retreating to yourself, with caring for yourself. They want you to be your own sacred space. They want you to treat yourself right. No more down talk. If you have self-esteem issues, you need to look at why and dissect that and figure out how to fix that. because that's literally one of the worst things to do. If you don't love yourself, that is really something nobody should have to go through. I'm pretty sure we all go through it, but I feel like the time that you have been going through it has been extensive. It's been a long time, and if you want to live a good life, this is something you're gonna have to learn. We have 11th house community. Some of you may be Aquariuses. You may be all for helping others and going after things for the community, but when it comes to helping yourself, you shy away. We have square, tension, conflict. There's conflict within yourself, and this is the thing. It says self-reflection, an opportunity for growth. If you are able to really reflect on why it is that you don't think that you're worthy and why it is that you don't deserve care and love, you're not going to be able to grow. But if you're able to reflect on that, that's when life can really change. We have Taurus, the connoisseur. Some of you feel like you're not worthy of even life's pleasure, of luxury, of just comfort and ease. You feel like life needs to be hard. Life don't need to be hard. We make life hard. Life does not need to be hard. We make life hard. Life is like a game. We just need to learn how to win. But you can't learn how to win if you're not able to learn the rules of the game. And one of the rules of the game that needs to be more of an emphasis is self-love. You have second house, material goods. This may even be manifesting in your life to the point where you're going through constant struggle after struggle. For some, material goods, your money, security, your career, it may be manifesting. You may be having a lot of lack right now. You may have been losing a lot of things, and yes, we are in a pandemic, so I'm not going to even ignore that. But I feel like for some of you, you were so down on yourself and you just felt like you were so undeserving that it literally manifested in your life. Because that stuff shows up. That stuff doesn't just stay in and nobody notices and nothing happens. When you get to the point of where you kind of start self-loathing, it will show up in your life in ways that you don't imagine, and life will get hard. It will get hard. But as I love to say, when you're at the bottom, the only place you can go is up. But y'all gotta dig yourself out of that hole. You gotta crawl out of that, because what I'm seeing right now is not healthy. It's not. To move on to the ancestor message, I'm not even going to worry about adding my own little 2 cents, because I already know it's up to you to change your mindset. Ancestors, please give your children some wisdom. I'm going to flip them all. Initiate into the mysteries. And look, it says knowledge to remove negative spirits. A negative spirit, what is that also? Self-loathing. Warrior spirit, you have our protection. Increase your spiritual power to succeed in battle. Participate and connect with your spirit team. Please, for the love of God, connect with your team. Connect with God. Connect with your ancestors. Because right now, I feel like how you view yourself is not the way they view you. And if you could only see yourself in the way they see you, your perception would start to change. Look at this. Remember us. Remember the sacrifice we made. The ancestors have paved the way for you. They are literally saying, please, please stop. We did enough. We did enough of the self-loathing in the generations. We've done enough of just giving and not giving anything to ourselves. We've done enough. Please focus on you in the way that we were not able to. If you don't even want to do it for yourself, which you probably don't, you really should, but I feel like for most of this group, you probably don't, at least do it for them. Mom and pop spot. Material goods. If you are working for someone else's dream, or you're in a career that you just hate, but you do it because you feel like that's what you should do, because that's your public image and that's what's expected of you, and deep down you want to do your business, and you have all these beautiful ideas in your head. For some, I just saw like some bar soaps. I feel like for some it may be related to like body and bath, and you have all these scents and all these ideas. but you don't feel like you're worthy to even start your own business or have your own business and it be successful. Like I just said, if you're not going to do it for you, at least do it for them. You should do it for you. You should want to do it for you. But with this group, this isn't going to be an instant fix. I mean, none of these pals are, but because I know when you get to this point, it can get very hard to pull yourself out of it. I think what would help is finding a support group, friends, or a support group online, a book club, anything to connect with others, because it'll really help with, because most of the times people who love us see us in a different way than we see ourselves. If you don't love yourself, and they will really show you the beautiful aspects of yourself, and B, also they will really try to discourage that self-talk. And when other people tell you, you know, you're not like that and you shouldn't talk to yourself that way, especially when it's people you really love and are dear to your heart, you're going to be more open-minded and willing to take it all in. Because I'm just a stranger, you don't know me. But if it's someone that you love and care about, you'll be taking it to heart, especially if you see that it pains them to see how much pain you're in. I'm also going to even do an additional shuffle for this group, because my heart goes out to you, because I've been where you are. Yeah, and look what I just said. Actually, I just saw another card too. I want it. Yep. We have lemur, tap into your charming and cunning nature, set on an adventure that stimulates your senses. So maybe you need to go and do something new. Maybe you need to take some time away from your own head. For some of you, we also have secretary bird. Appreciate and nurture healthy bonds. Know when to detach and stand on your own. Take pride in yourself in what you do. Like I said earlier, you also need to know how to just be alone and be happy with being alone. Not detaching from your friends and those that love you, more so of just always doing things for people in the community. But you also need to learn to take pride in yourself and what you do. You need to find that pride and confidence. That's what this group needs. They really want you to let go of those self-esteem issues and pick up on that confidence. That is, if there's anything you want to take away, is that you really need to learn to bring in some confidence. Maybe you need to make a list of the things you love about yourself, and if you really can't think about anything, ask the people around you what they love about you. So with that being said, pile number 3, my heart really does. I've been there before, which is why I'm not really offering any words, because again, you need to hear it from someone who is near and dear to your heart. But this is from your ancestors. This is a pattern. This is a pattern that they want to let go. They don't want this to continue through the generations. So please take the time to reflect, do some work, connect with those you need to connect with. If you do feel called and you enjoy this message, please like and subscribe. And even if you don't, that's still perfectly okay. I genuinely want you guys to get better, because again, I've been in this spot and I know how hard it can be. So I'm going to just set the intention right now for any people who are comfortable and okay with me praying for them. I am going to be keeping you in my prayers and just hoping that God, your ancestors, are able to help you overcome this, that the people that are near and dear to your heart are able to show you how beautiful you really are, both mind, body, and spirit. Oh, my beautiful, lovely people. I'm sorry, I got a little emotional at the end there, but I'm sorry. With that being said, you know, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And again, my heart's really going out to pile 3s. So with that being said, have a blessed day. Bye.